Walking with Jesus Bible Study for the reading of Monday, March the 16th, 2020, from John chapter 13, verses 21 through 31. After he had said this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and testified, "Very truly I tell you, one of you is going to betray me." His disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which of them he meant. One of them, the disciple whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter motioned to this disciple and said, "Ask him which one he means." Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus answered, "It is the one to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish." Then dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. As soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered into him. So Jesus told him, "What you are about to do, do quickly." But no one at the meal understood why Jesus said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the festival or to give something to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. There's a couple of things that stuck out to me in this passage. One is that Jesus was troubled. He knew this was going to happen. He knew who was going to do it, and yet he was troubled. It shows the humanity of Jesus. It also shows the deep sting of the betrayal of a friend. They traveled together for 3 years and shared who knows what situations that are not recorded in the gospel stories. What other storms might they have endured together? What times of laughter might have been shared? What tremendous acts of God had they witnessed? And yet now Jesus is betrayed by one of these close companions. A host giving a morsel of bread to a guest was a sign of friendship. Notice that even at the last, Jesus is extending friendship and grace to Judas. The sign of friendship also became a sign of betrayal. The second thing that stuck out is that John's notation that it is night when Judas leaves. In John, night is a time of evil. And so the noting of it being night is not only a time notation, but it's symbolic. It was a time of darkness and evil as Judas went to betray Jesus. Judas left the light of Jesus and entered into the darkness of sin. Some points to ponder. When we're wounded by the betrayal of a loved one, Jesus understands, because he too has been troubled and wounded by the betrayal of a friend and a loved one. Grace can be found even in the most unlikely times or situations. And noting also that in John, that Jesus is identified as the Word of God, that leaving the Word will take us into darkness. Blessings.